Hello, everyone. It's Brian here. We're here to do the much delayed contest entry for MGK Boston. So he and Patty are looking for 400 subscribers, and they have that. And so the object of this is to. Oh, first, I should introduce my co host, which is Cecile.
Hi. Hello, music nerds.
Nerds. And so we're supposed to make a video in which we first talk about three or so, I think it was three, pieces of music that our partners have that we don't like. So Cecile has chosen those, and here we go.
Okay, so the first one is so wrong that I just can't even say that Brian does not like this record. But it's Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell, which he has on vinyl.
Actually,
you bought this for me, right?
This is one of two records that I don't own. This is Cecile's record.
And what's the other one? Journey?
No, it's the kids' record.
Oh, kids' record. Okay. So I don't understand why Brian does not like this, because I think this is one of the best albums of all time. I love the rock opera sort of sound. I listen to this incessantly. I just think it's awesome. So, Brian, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, the first time I heard this, my sister had this record, and she played it a lot. Now, to be honest, I don't mind the opening track, Bat Out of Hell, but by the time we get to Paradise by the Dashboard Light, all revved up and no place to go, I can see that. But Heaven Can Wait, You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, For Crying Out Loud.
There's very few albums that I think can capture sort of teenage, adolescent sort of fervor in the way that this album does. So I think I can't understand it, but I love it.
All right.
So next record is Def Leppard's Vault, which is their greatest hits. So I was a fan of sort of hair metal. I loved that whole era. I think Def Leppard's a great band. I don't know why you don't like this. These are all their greatest hits. Photograph, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Love Bites. I mean, what's not to like, Brian? What is not to like?
When the first Def Leppard record came out, I heard it a lot because my cousins had it. Maybe I got a little sick of it. I will say that the video for Pour Some Sugar on Me is really disappointing. I expected something completely different, so that really confounded me. But, the early tracks that were from the first record, was it On Through the Night? What was it called? Anyway,
you're the
those
music
tracks,
nerd, not me.
Those tracks I think are probably okay, but then I kind of just lost interest, I guess, or didn't really stick with me. So...
All right. And then sort of carrying on in this sort of theme is Monster Ballads, which is a collection of like rock ballads. It has Warrant, it has Poison, Mr. Big, Europe, Cinderella, Firehouse. Again, I love this stuff. I love kind of rock dudes singing about love. I think it's great. Brian does not.
Now, most of these songs I'd never heard before. Cecile put one of these, what is it called? Which is that one? More Than Words was put on a playlist that she made once. And
for Valentine's Day.
Right. And I knew Almost Paradise by Mike Reno and Ann Wilson. I knew that track. I think there was one other track on here that I knew, but the rest of these, I didn't even know some of these bands. Like, I didn't know who Sheriff were, Kicks, Bad English. Of course, I knew Scorpions. Firehouse I'd never heard of before. Winger, never heard of them. Mr. Big I had heard of, Whitesnake I heard of, but so many of these tracks I didn't even know the artists. So yeah, I guess we played this a while ago, and I said to Cecile, do you think more men own this CD or more women own this CD?
Well, that is actually an interesting segue, Brian, to the records of yours that I do not like, because I think there is some sort of gendered thing happening here, because a lot of the records that I do not like that Brian likes or that Brian owns, I think are particularly male-centered.
Yes, this is a little add-on. Susie's going to talk about things that I have that she doesn't like.
Yeah, so things that Brian has that I do not like. And I will say, I have to preface this, because I don't necessarily... I've taken a different sort of stab at this in that I'm going to talk about sort of the artist, not necessarily the album. Because some of these artists, I respect them, and it's not like I dislike them, but I just don't get why Brian has so many of their records. So I have to start with Rush. I know this is going to be, disappointing to many of you Rush fans out there. I know there's a lot of you. There's some sort of weird culty Rush thing happening. We're Canadian, so we should like Rush. Brian likes Rush. I don't dislike Rush, but I do not understand why people are so into Rush. I don't get it. Some of their songs are good, but is it a culty kind of band? Yeah, I don't think so.
I will say, just look what they're wearing here. That's only okay.
We were actually at what was it? It was
May 24th.
May 24 fireworks celebration, and some kids of the parents who hosted this dressed up to emulate this album cover with the, like, I don't know, whatever those silken robes are. Again, because that's the sort of fervor that Rush has, that evokes in their fans. I don't get it, but whatever. Power to you Rush fans out there. Another band I don't quite get the fervor for is Genesis. I prefer Phil Collins to Genesis. I know you prog fans out there. Brian's cringing. I don't dislike them, but I don't understand why you have so many Genesis records. I don't get it. Brian, explain yourself.
I can't explain it.
It just is. All right, and the other one, again, I don't really understand Warren Zevon. Like, I like that Werewolves in London. Like, that's fine, a fun song. I don't understand why people really like Warren Zevon. Like, isn't it David Letterman's favorite artist is Warren Zevon? Yeah. Like, what is up with that? Of all the artists you could choose. Although I will say I was surprised that this is what he kind of looked like at one point. I was like, oh, that's what Warren Zevon looks like. Huh. Again, I don't really get this. I don't know why Brian has so many of Warren Zevon, Rush, Genesis. I don't get it. So that's my list.
All right. Well, I think you went easy on me. So let's see. The other part of this video is that Mike wants us to show a Christmas record and a concert DVD. Are you staying for this?
No, it's okay. I can go.
You want to stay for this?
I can go. Thank you for listening. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, disagree with me, who's in the right here, who's in the wrong. Yeah, let me know. And thanks, Brian, for letting me into your little music nerddom universe.
I will say that many people said they couldn't convince their partners to come on camera, and Ceci was like, I'll do it. No question. So
yeah, I have no issues. So yeah, so thank you, and continue, Brian, with your video.
Right. Okay, so the other part is to show the video's gonna be less interesting now. So a Christmas record and a concert DVD. So I will say I don't really like Christmas music. I have a few CDs of mixed things like Jingle Bells and Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, which I don't really like. But the only two Christmas records I have, one's a CD. This is Bruce Cockburn's Christmas, which I think is pretty incredible. It's a very religious experience. And I'm not a religious person, but it has, you won't find Jingle Bells on here. It has early on One Christmas Morn, Little Town of Bethlehem. He's got some Ria Chia, I Saw Three Ships, Down in Yon Forest, some foreign language things, Go Tell on the Mountain. He wrote one for this record. He's got the Huron Carol, the Huron people in Canada. So it's actually quite good, though. He's a Canadian folk icon, and I think it's one I do listen to, although I'm not a Christmas fan. But I will show, the other one I was going to show is this one from the Flaming Lips, Imogen Pisa, or Pease. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. This is like a fiction, though. It's Atlas Eats Christmas, and the idea is that she was a Iraqi pianist who died in 1978 from suicide, and this is purportedly a lost recording that was found. And it's all Christmas music, and it's sort of done in a very strange manner, so you might not even recognize. So Silver Bells is on here, Winter Wonderland, but on first listen, you might not even realize that they are Christmas tracks. Do You Hear What I Hear? Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I think there were 5,000 of these pressed on this Christmassy color vinyl. So the last part is the concert DVD, and because I just showed Flaming Lips, I'm just going to show Flaming Lips again, and this is Flaming Lips UFOs at the Zoo, the legendary concert in Oklahoma City from 2007, which is phenomenal. This is fantastic. I really love this. Anyway, it's really cool. If you ever see this and you're a Flaming Lips fan, you should get it because it's really great. All right, so Under the Wire, I think we had until tomorrow to enter this contest, so it's done now. Thank you to my co-host, and yeah, leave some comments about what we showed, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.